Welcome back to Hernando Hot Rods. So today we're going to be getting this back bumper finally done. Previously I shown all the fiberglass work that I had added to it because it fit like complete garbage. So now we're going to get that primed, filled, painted, and Dzus fastened back to this thing. So let's get to it. This is exactly why we block. Look at all the low spots all throughout here. Granted, I only filled the end caps on this back bumper, but you can see it's just ripply going all the way down. That's typical fiberglass for you. The front side, not so bad. This must have been because of the mold. There's like a little line in here. This might be an actual low spot because it's taller. But everything else seems to be uniform going down. There's just a line here. That might be a little low spot. But I'll probably just skim coat this, re-primer it again, and block again, and that should solve that. Bottom part here is pretty uniform, and same thing over here, pretty smooth. So it's just this upper section, probably just part of the mold when they made this thing. But as you can see, the top side is just completely clapped out. These are all our little lows going around. So we're gonna get those filled, probably lay another coat on this top half. Actually, I'll probably just do another coat on the whole thing. Just send it. As anticipated, same as the rear bumper, front bumper on top, bunch of waviness. I don't think it's as many as the rear. No, it's not. So not as many as the rear, but they're just large ones. A couple cut throughs, that's where I just skim coated, but I never blocked it. I just skim coated, DA'd it, and then put the filler primer on top. So here's my lows coming across, and time to get those filled. And oh, the front side is the same as the back bumper. As you see, that line coming through the top middle, same thing, line coming through the top middle. And then the license plate section is a little wavy, just gonna fill these 3 lows. Didn't worry about that one because that one gets a plate on it, but yeah, time to fill these and get after it. As you saw the other day, I got this back bumper all cleaned up. I just had to use a little bit of fiberglass filler and a couple of little, almost like fisheye holes that were from air gaps in the fiberglass. So now, today I'm just doing the top side of this front bumper, and then hopefully I could put the last coat of filler primer on these, block them just for check's sake, to make sure we have no lows, and then we could get these things in paint. So goal is to get these things in primer today, and then maybe in a day or two get them in color. So let's get to it. bumpers out here, cooking in the sun, looking good. Everything seems pretty kosher. Got a bug there. I got one more bug on the back bumper up here. And then I did have a run just at the bottom of this bumper right there. That's what I get for painting at night. So once these things just cook in the sun all day, maybe a couple of days, I'm gonna wait for that clear coat to really harden up, and then we're gonna get to cut and buff. So I had a run here that came across this way, and I just cut it down with some 1000 grit, made it all flat. So now we gotta move on to polishing.
Perfect.
Alright, so I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing. Right now I'm just trying to cut down the texture on this front bumper. I'm not going to cut the back bumper because the radius on it is tight and it's not a flat surface, so I don't want to cut across it with a DA. But this I know for a fact is flat because I blocked it flat. So this is all texture in my paint, in my clear coat. It looks like a bunch of trash is in here, and that's because I painted it outside on a windy day like an idiot. But I center a little too hard, bud. And this is clear. This is a dirt nib that clear came around, so it made a raised point. And we're gonna cut all this out. This I've never seen in my entire life, so I don't even know how the hell that got there. This might be just a sag that came across this way. Don't know if that's also dirt. It's just a bunch of trash that's stuck in the top side of this clear coat. But right now I'm just cutting her down with 2000 grit, and then we're gonna work our way to 3000 and 5000. But right now we need to eliminate all the texture with the 2000 grit. If this is more aggressive, I could even use 1500, but I try to stay finer if I can. So we're gonna cut that till it's completely smooth, and I'll show you guys what it looks like after going over it some more with 2K. Alright, so just got done with 5000 grit. As you can see, super flat. It's almost shiny. You can see the reflection of the trees, and this hasn't even been buffed yet. So we got a super fine cut. I kind of dirty, but had a section that had trash in it here, and then I cut that with 2000. So then I made the next section of 3000 this much, and then I kind of went from here to here with 5000 just to kind of make it flow better when it gets buffed. And then I had a bug that was stuck in the paint here. You could kind of see just a little tiny dab, but once it gets buffed, I'm hoping that'll be a little bit darker. But you could see where on the base coat that the bug hid, and I guess that would be exposed primer at that point. But it's completely smooth. Not a huge deal breaker for me. Not a super classy show car. This is just a fancy race car. So we're gonna get these sections buffed and work towards getting it mounted right there. Oh, there we go, on that rig. There you have it. Got the trash out of the top. Got the bug that was like right here out of there. After being buffed, you don't even see where it was at all. And over here, got rid of a little run and a sag that was right across here. All right, so I'm out here messing around with the bumpers on the Nova. I got the rear and the front bumper. I'm gonna leave the front bumper alone right now because, well, there's no front end on the old girl. So, for the time being, I'm gonna get the Dzus fasteners on here. As you saw last, I got it all cut and buffed in the sections that needed some love. So things looking slick. I need to get the Dzus fasteners on here. I just got some zinc coated ones. And they have 1/8 inch holes for them to mount to the bumper. But I also have, instead of solely relying on the fiberglass, I have these backup plates that is sold by Ace. It's actually Ace brand. And then that's the little part number thing, I guess, if you want to Google it or buy it online, that's what you would use. And let me show you guys what they look like. It is pretty much just a mini washer, a little 1/8 inch inner diameter hole, and then they're just kind of thick boys so that you're clamping down on the fiberglass instead of expanding the fiberglass and possibly causing it to crack. So I'm gonna get these installed all the way around, and then we can mount this bumper, and I need to cut the tube on the rear so that it lays flush with the bumper, because that's where the license plate will be. And then that's also where the hitch is gonna plug in, and or the parachute mount will also plug into the back there. So I'm gonna get these mounted, and then I'll bring you guys to the back of the car. Okay, so I got the Nova backed out, got that bumper halfway mounted. I didn't do the inner Dzuses right now, but I traced the edge of where the bumper sits against this post with some silver Sharpie. Now we're gonna cut this flush so that way you can still put a license plate. And I think we're gonna do the flip down approach, or possibly just hole saw the middle of the license plate, just for the future hitch and or parachute mount. This is what the parachute mount looks like with the bumper on and inside the receiver. Then that also slides out with a bolt. So if we want to put the hitch in, same thing. This just slides out of here. Hell yeah, and if you look underneath, it's triangulated back there, and then there's the bolt that goes underneath inside the trunk. So you just thread the bolt through, and that thing's ready to pull and or parachute. As you can see, got the bumper on there. Everything's looking super clean and tidy. Definitely cleans up the back half of the car. It's weird seeing it with a bumper. Everything looks just slightly wider and further out now. Kind of weird. I'm used to the ass being cut off. But here's the tube mount that I was talking about. We cut that pretty close to flush. Might be sticking out just a hair. This is how much I took off of the back side of it. But that definitely looks way cleaner. Hit it with some rattle can so it don't rust. And then just kind of beveled the outside a little bit so it's not a finger cutter. And we got her all Dzussed up. Looking clean. I had to lay under the car a little bit and kind of line up the little cage that I made that has the back half of the Dzus fastener on it. But besides that, I'm really happy with the way it looks. Hell yeah. Got the bumper looking super clean. I'm happy with the way everything turned out. Next, I need to get this deck lid seated so the cold molding matches properly. And then we need to get a lock in the fiberglass deck lid. So that's going to do it for now, though. Thank you so much for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace!